everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of the Slow Smoke Pigskin podcast. I'm Aaron. That's Drew, like always.
Hello.
We'll see if I'm pointing the right direction when this video comes out. And for me, down there is Mr. Joe Silva. We are going to meet him, but first, let's talk about a little bit of news from both our league and the NFL. So, we got more league news because we got another trade. Oh, how well does it work out? Because it involves this week's guest, Joe, and last week's guest, Neil. Right after Neil said Joe sends horrible trade offers, then they complete a trade. Figure that one out. So
I just want to know, was this a first trade offer accepted? Everything was all good, or was there some negotiation back and forth?
There's always lots of negotiations, specifically with him. Specifically with Aaron. Let's be honest. Aaron is the absolute worst. Like, I keep getting called out for being a terrible trade maker. Oh my God, the amount of crappy trades that man sends. I cannot believe I'm being called out as hard as I am.
I don't disagree at all.
With Aaron. Oh my God, they're awful.
Anyways.
Absolutely awful.
Aaron always defends himself by saying it's just a starting point.
Well, yeah, hey, you trade raped my wife because of that too. Don't start with me. So, right. Anyways,
I'm just glad trades are happening.
All this trade, Joe received Jalen Waddle, which is funny because I swear you had him before and traded him to me at one point.
I believe that is the case, yeah.
I feel like Waddle's been passed around. Anyways, Joe received Jalen Waddle. Neil received the 108 and 408 picks that are coming up starting later this week. I'm saying later this week based on when we're recording. We'll see when the video gets posted.
It's 4 days and 2 hours away or something like that. 4 hours.
Like that.
Yeah.
This means that Joe doesn't have a pick in the draft, correct?
Not a single one. Zero.
I did that last year.
I missed that completely.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. If you're a contending team, I totally get it. I got myself a couple of picks because I have empty taxi squad spots, so I was like, hey, I might as well get some picks so I can fill them out. But
you also have a stacked roster, so you had some leeway with getting rid of some people.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I looked at the draft and what was potentially going to be at the number 8 pick, and I don't know. There's a few wide receivers that may have been good, but you know what you're getting in Waddle, so.
The thing to me about that one is like, I figured at 108, you're most likely looking at a wide receiver. Maybe you could be looking at running back or quarterback. It might be a little early for some of the quarterbacks, but It's a weird one to me if you're looking at wide receiver to draft, because all you're doing is drafting a wide receiver that you hope becomes Jalen Waddle or as good as Jalen Waddle. Exactly. That being said, Waddle has had injury problems. Like, when he's on the field, he's great, but he's not always on the field.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else to say about this trade, or are we good to move on?
No. All right. And a fourth round pick.
A fourth round pick is worth like a bag of cheese.
Worth Puka Nuka.
Oh God, dude, this is gonna be forever. Everybody's just gonna be like,
until the next.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So NFL news. This one isn't a huge deal, but Robert Tonyan signed with the Vikings, which on its own doesn't mean a whole lot. The only reason it's interesting to me is, what does that say about TJ Hawkinson being able to play coming off his ACL injury? I don't think Hawkinson was just expected to be there at the beginning right away anyways, but if they're signing a veteran like Tonyan, I don't know what that'll mean. I don't remember
I don't really know what the Vikings are doing in general.
I don't think they're doing that bad. They wanted to re-sign Kirk. Kirk got offered more money, so he went there. The rest of their team is good. However, that does lead to the next item, which is that Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb are amongst players who aren't showing up at the beginning of OTAs. So, yes, they haven't extended Jefferson yet, which, they're going to have to pay that man so much money.
I'm drawing a blank. Who's their quarterback?
JJ McCarthy. or Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. That's right. That's right. That's right. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure what the Vikings are doing.
Yeah, I think they're really hoping McCarthy pans out after a couple of weeks. If I remember,
if he has Justin Jefferson to pass to, like that's legit. But...
That's helpful. But I remember reading something. I think the Vikings' beginning of the season schedule is really rough, if I remember correctly. And so it might be like, let's not throw McCarthy out to the wolves. Let's let Darnold get bashed for a couple of weeks while McCarthy learns the offense, and then throw him in.
Good option, to be honest with you. He's a good punching bag.
Yeah.
He's a gigantic man.
He's gonna start seeing ghosts. More ghosts for
What do you
him.
think they did to him for 3 years out in New York there,
Yeah.
Just threw him out there, let him get his ass handed to him. Yeah, he did great.
Someone to call plays.
Yeah. Yep. Another wide receiver with some drama, T. Higgins, apparently hasn't signed his franchise tag. And if he doesn't sign the tag, that means he's not officially under contract, which means he can't show up to team activities. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I think we had, in like one of our mediocre signing discussions, we had talked about Devontae Parker signing with the Eagles. Well, he decided he's just going to retire. Dude, he was the weirdest player. He like 4 years horrible, 5th-year breakout, and then year 6 through 9 just also sucked again. He had 1 good year.
Yep.
Speaking of retired wide receivers, Antonio Brown has apparently filed for bankruptcy. I don't know. I feel like he should get something for being the poster child for CTE. He doesn't get anything for that endorsement or anything.
There's gotta be a pharmaceutical company out there somewhere that's like, oh, we can do this.
Do you not think that he can just sue Vontae Burfict? Whatever his last name is. Yeah, perfect. He can just sue him for that hit, because you can pinpoint the exact moment of his downfall.
That he lost his damn mind.
Yeah, you can pinpoint the exact moment. I think he's got a case there.
I can't believe he's bankrupt. Like, I understand that like these players are they just go and they do whatever they want to do, and he's probably got, I don't even know how many kids he probably has. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. You know how many kids Tyreek Hill has?
10?
Like 10?
Yeah. 5 different baby mamas. And he's got another one on the way with his wife now.
I thought they got divorced.
No.
Well, that doesn't mean they don't have
No, I'm dead serious. I thought they got married I remember the discussion of him getting married, but then I thought she within 3 months, or he within 3 months had filed for divorce. Maybe I got that wrong.
But anyways,
their house also burned down recently, so I don't know.
Tyreek Hill's got enough money. He's getting $30 million.
This is true.
He'd just be fine.
Have you seen the Netflix thing about the all the players and how they spend the football? They live paycheck to paycheck, and then when it comes to the off season, they have no money and they're waiting for their next. It reminded me of what Antonio Brown It's still a thing. People still are just wasting their money.
Yep. Eric Armstead, who's a lineman, or who was a defensive lineman for the 49ers, he had done a web series, trying to teach players about financial literacy and things like that, because he was like, I'm not trying to flex, but he showed his pay stub, and it was $2 million. But it was crazy because all he took home from it after all the taxes and stuff was under $1 million. And that didn't account for paying his agent and all these other people. So these guys think the young guys who get all this money, who have no financial understanding, they blow through some of the money.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What do you think that the HBO series that The Rock did? What was that?
Ballers.
I mean, that's exactly. Yeah, that's the whole premise of that
real
show,
life,
right?
Yeah,
and that was real life,
So one of the last episodes we talked about all the streaming services that you would have to get if you wanted to see all the football games for a team this year.
There's 12 of them.
It's a ridiculous number.
It's $580 a month that you'd have to spend to see it all.
It's a very lot. So the funny part about that is that you're mentioning the cost.
I like that. It's a very lot. Yes.
The funny part about that is that's what I was going to mention. If you're a Panthers fan, It will actually cost you less money to buy tickets to go to every Panthers game than it will to pay for all the streaming services to see their games this year.
Nice.
That's how ridiculously cheap Panthers tickets have gotten to go in person. I'm pretty sure they had a game last year where it was literally 50 cents for the cheapest tickets to go.
I think they were giving tickets away. Like, please just fill up the seats so it doesn't look so empty.
Yeah, so bad. I don't know.
I wish it was like that here, like in LA. Like I can't afford to go to a baseball game, a football game, a basketball game. Like I can probably go to a soccer game.
That's a good. That brings me to a question. So you're in LA. Where are you at now, Aaron?
I'm in a suburb of Denver.
Okay, so you're Cowboys fan in Broncos country. That sucks.
That's right.
No, it's great because they're all horrible. Like the Broncos are so bad right now. Like, what are you guys gonna say to me?
All right, and you're down in LA with the Rams and the Chargers then.
Correct. And the Raiders.
And you're probably
sort of.
You're probably like a Jets fan or something, right?
I'm a fantasy football fan, but for the longest time I lived in LA and we didn't have a team. So I never really was attached to any LA team. So I moved to Nashville for 3 years. So I kind of adopted the Titans if I have to go with it.
I thought we had a connection from the beginning. I thought we had a connection because I'm a Colts fan. So like it's an automatic hatred connection. Automatic. I feel it. I really do feel this.
You felt the energy?
Absolutely, I did.
I don't even know you, but I know I hate you already.
I thought it was your face, but it's not. It's your football team.
No, it's not your face. No.
Nice.
No. Aaron's the only one with a face that you gotta hate.
Just very punchable. All right. Last piece of news, and this one is mostly to laugh at Drew again. I literally just got a report earlier today that Kyron Williams has a foot issue and won't be taking part in spring team activities.
But in good news,
Rashee Rice
will not have charges of punching a photographer. So that's a good thing.
Yes, he's still got all the vehicle accident charges.
He still he did felony fleeting of a traffic accident and driving too fast. But at least he didn't punch somebody.
Yes. All right. So let's get into our main topic of today. We're here to talk about Mr. Joe Silva. He has been in the league since the beginning. His all-time record is 35-49.
Oh, damn. Wow, I'm doing great.
First season, 2021, he finished in 11th place out of 12. He said that's not good enough. In 2022, he was officially the Toilet Bowl champion, or as he liked to put it, the shit king. He adopted this moniker, and then last year, he said he was going to be the Shit King Rises, and so he moved all the way up to 8th place this last year. Actually, I don't even remember what your team name is at this point. You've changed it a couple of times. What are you now?
Shit King Rises?
Hey, no. I went higher than 8th place.
No, you were 8th place last season.
This past season?
Yes. Did I mess that up?
I'm
gonna look right now.
See you in the playoffs.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
He's got the 8th pick, not 8th place.
You're right. I messed that up. So that if he's got 8th pick, that would make him 5th. 5th. You finished 5th. My bad. I screwed that.
Thank you. I was like, no. Okay. I would legitimately had the Shit King Rises. Okay, I had a much better season.
Fine. All right. Fair enough. Speaking of, real quick, before we get into asking you questions, when are you sending Eddie his damn trophy?
Dude, I'm dead serious. It is in the back seat of my truck, and every time I have to slam on the brake, that fucking thing hits the back of the chair or the back seat, and it falls down. And I look back, and I'm like, and I see this fucking toilet seat staring up at me. Because when Roth dropped it off, he put it in this like half box thing, like just kind of half-ass put it on my front porch. And so I put it back in the same box, and
Yeah, but now you have to ship it, so it's
I
going to
do,
take a
and it
little bit
has
more.
been in my back seat for months, absolute months. I don't know why I haven't done it. This will probably lead me to.
We need to implement a time frame on that, like
We do.
before the draft, before the start of this, something. I don't know.
All right.
In fact, I'm pretty sure he sent me the address, and then we
Yeah.
rebooted the whole system, and now it's gone. I don't have any communication, so
All right.
I
We'll
should
get you
his
the address again.
Yeah.
We'll get you the address in like 20 minutes if you want.
Yeah. All right. So we gave a little background on you. Name, age, where you're from.
Name Joe Sova. I am 43. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Still living in Portland, Oregon.
Are you on the Oregon side now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I was in Vancouver when you
Right.
and I met.
Yeah.
And then moved to the Oregon side when I started at Intel. So
All right.
Nice.
Any family or animals or anything you want to talk about?
Dude, as I discussed earlier. So we had seriously like all the good jokes were told. Anybody watching this, we had such a good conversation leading up to this podcast.
We
Like
had a
all the good jokes
pre-session.
have already been said and laid out there. But
The
no,
worst part is I forgot them all already.
right.
Have you ever had a pet?
Yes. So when I first met Aaron, we were working at Dino out there in St. Helens, Oregon. I don't know. You all probably have no idea where the hell that is.
I mean, Jason and Raph are in this league, so they know.
Yeah, that's true. They are. Yeah.
And my wife.
I doubt either one of them.
Do they listen or watch the podcast?
No, absolutely not.
Roth, maybe. Jason. No, he doesn't give a damn. But anyways, yes, I got a dog. Because I was like, I've got a stable job, I've got a beautiful house. I had my sister and my niece were living with me. We gotta have a house dog, So I got this puppy, and then ran into some issues with management at Dino, and so we butted heads. I left.
We all have.
What's that?
I said we've all run into issues with management.
Seems like a pattern here.
Yeah. And then my company decided, well, if you can't get along at Dino, we're sending you to the middle of fucking nowhere, Kansas, for 6 months. And when I say that, like literally middle of like Wichita was 6 hours away. Tulsa, Oklahoma was 2 hours away. Like I was in literally the middle of freaking nowhere, Kansas. And my sister was looking after the dog. Well, they bonded. So I come home, the dog didn't like me, so my sister kept him. And little asshole. And then I started dating a nice girl, and she and I moved in together. We got a dog. We broke up. The dog chose her. So like literally all my animals just keep fucking leaving me for all the women in my life, or whatever. So no, I have no dog. I have no girlfriend. I have no wife. I have no kids.
Well, you just mentioned that you had a beautiful house.
Well, I did. I sold it to buy the boat, which, by the way, if you guys can't tell, I'm on a boat right now. Like I'm in my boat house on the Columbia River.
So does that mean, are you in your swim trunks and your flippy floppies?
No, it's raining outside, so I'm bundled up, staying warm because it's Oregon. Like it's 85 one day and then it's 62 the next and rainy. So
That'll happen.
But usually, yes, I am in my flippy flops and my shorts. Yeah, for sure.
I was trying to go back to the I'm on a boat song.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like Skipper in his team name is somewhere in the mix coming up. Maybe I don't know. Skipper.
We're calling
no, the new
Gilligan.
The new name is Joe motherfucking Sova. Yeah,
that's very aggressive. And when my daughter looks at the league, she's gonna be like, "Dad, what's that?"
Well, yeah,
Well, I don't know if has any changed. Oh, it's not in this league. Another league that we're in. Well, he's got 2 girlies and a cup in this league. In another league, he had a team name that was Zach Motherfucker.
Yep.
And so, like, my daughter saw the team and she's like, "Dad, that's a bad word." I'm like, don't look at our fantasy football.
Don't look at this. Don't read these names. None of them are good.
Not appropriate for children.
So you mentioned that you work at Intel now. We used to work at Dino together. Now you're at Intel. What do you do there?
Yep. I am a construction coordinator there. So I work in their clean room fab. And how do I explain this? So the machines that they use to make their semiconductors and all the little chips that go into your little components, not the iPhone because they don't do iPhone. All the machines that they do, I organize the installation or the removal of those machines with all the trades personnel, the engineers. I'm basically the liaison between the engineers and the tradespeople. So I can tell people to go fuck themselves or say smart shit about learning answers on stuff. So like,
yeah. So your dirty ass works on clean rooms.
Yes,
that's what you're telling me.
That is correct.
I feel like
the first time you said that was much funnier.
It was. And all those jokes we were talking about, I remembered that one. It didn't come out as clean this time. It was really a bummer.
They let your dirty ass in a clean room? Yes, they do.
So I guess there's not really a whole lot of explanation to your fantasy team name if your name is now Joe motherfucking Sova.
Joe motherfucking Sova. I just I just went straight for it, you know.
You might be the manager that has changed their team name the most though.
I would not doubt that. Yeah. I would not doubt that.
He does mix it up. That's nice.
Yeah.
What's your fantasy
we're Aaron and I are in what, 3 leagues together? I think we're in 3, and the other ones I have not changed my name at all. It's been the exact same one every time. It's just this one. I don't know why I do it.
Just perfect. It's the one you care about.
Well,
except you're 35 and 49.
Yeah,
he had a bad first year. Okay,
the first year was absolute dog shit, and then I was like, man, I did not know how to draft for a dynasty league. Flat out had no idea what I was doing. Halfway through it, I was like, why in the hell is this selecting all these fucking defensive guys? Because you would throw it in, like it was taking so long, so you would throw it to auto. Next thing you know, you've got 10 linemen. You're like, what the is going on here?
Steve got 19.
Yeah, it was awful. So the first year I had it was all based off of the draft. It was terrible. The second year, I dove into trying to get the number 1 pick. Like I was just like, you know what? My team's absolutely awful. So I just started trading my good players, getting draft picks, just went all in on selling. And then turned some of those running backs that I picked up into some different talent and started accumulating some talent. So feeling a lot better about it now. But poof, man, that first 2 years, it was awful. It was terrible. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I was gonna say you have any hobbies, but I guess your boat is pretty much your hobby at this point.
It is. It is definitely my hobby. It's a 43-year-old boat. Like I'm the same age as my boat. And I think we are competing for the number of issues. Mine are all mental, hers are all physical. But yeah, it's a restoration project for sure, and I enjoy the shit out of it. You know.
That's awesome.
I really do.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grow up?
A teacher, actually. Yep. I actually thought I was. I know, right?
They wouldn't let your dirty ass in a school. Don't worry.
Fuck, no, they wouldn't. Not anymore. No. Well, and when I first got out of college, I was this, pure innocent little boy, and then I started working with men, and I was like, oh god, no going back now. Like, shit, they would not. Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have children because they'd be like, you don't get to be around children.
He just said a bunch of men broke him in.
Yeah,
what I heard.
Man broke me in for sure. Yeah. It's like I was a Cowboys fan. I swear to God.
Oh, I that was a question I had, but I guess you sort of already answered it. You're a Colts fan?
I grew up a Colts fan. Yeah. Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Okay. The funny story about that. So when I was growing up, I'd be watching football on Sundays, obviously, because it was only Sundays back then. And so my stepdad he'd be doing whatever, and he'd come by and he's like, "Oh, how the Colts doing? Oh, how the Colts?" And I was like, "They're 2-14, like they're not doing well. How do you think?" So, but naturally, like he kept asking me all the time, like, "How are the Colts doing? How are the Colts doing?" So, like, I was always checking in on the Colts, and I always cared about what the Colts were doing, right? So, growing up, it was all about the Colts, and then all of a sudden they got fucking good. And he grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, all of a sudden he marries a woman who is from somewhere in Illinois where the Cardinals used to be. So all of a sudden he's a fucking Cardinals fan. I'm like, what are you talking about? You've never been a fucking Cardinals fan in our entire life. And all of a sudden he's got a Cardinals tattoo. He wears Cardinals hats. And I'm like, how? I'm a Colts fan. How did you flip on me like this?
Wow. Yeah. Went all the way to a tattoo.
He went all the way with the tattoo.
That's commitment.
Yep. Well, he's also got the the USS Arizona, the battleship that sunk in Pearl Harbor. He's actually got the whole number tattooed on him because it represents Arizona. So he went all in on Arizona and the Cardinals and all of this. And I'm like, I grew up Colts fan. Like, what the fuck happened?
Hopefully he's not what is that, Coyote? What's the hockey team that they're losing?
They don't have a hockey team.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I hope he didn't get a tattoo for them too. I'd go for
no, we never got into hockey. Yeah,
right.
never did that. No, which I got scolded at work the other day. They were like, "Oh, it's the greatest sport ever," and I'm like, sorry, I don't know where the fucking puck is half the time. Like,
yeah, dude. Like now that I live in, I lived in Alaska and now in Colorado. Both places, like hockey's big, and I'm like, I don't watch hockey. Like, every time I try and watch
hockey is super cool. I got into it when we were in Nashville because the Predators were really good at that point in time. But Oregon, do they even have what? Do they have a professional sports team?
We have the Trailblazers.
Oh, the Blazers.
Are they back? I don't watch basketball anymore.
No, Blazers never left.
Never left.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
you're thinking of the Supersonics.
Oh, is
the
that what I'm thinking?
Supersonics went to OKC.
Right.
Oh, okay. I thought someone went to New Orleans. Okay.
No.
All right, my bad. So they got
in fact, here, let me. So, little backstory, real quick, before I show you this. Is I do an event every year called Christmas Ships where I decorate my boat.
I'm so sad we never made it.
Seriously, I invited you.
That was a bummer.
That 1 year, yeah.
Nope.
But anyways, I do Christmas Ships every year, and I'm trying to. I've got my laptop here. So we decorate our boats, and it's been going on this will be the 70th year that we're doing it. And this past year, I created a new display. How do I flip the screen? Can I?
No idea.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to do it this way then. So I created.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, I put that the emblem on the front of the boat, and then those two right there say Rip City. I put one on each side of my boat, and oh man, I'm a huge Blazers fan. I love the Blazers. So that was new last year, and it was a huge hit.
That's awesome.
With all the people.
So if you didn't get it, Drew, it's basically like a parade of boats that are decorated. Yeah. So I was really bummed. Like we were supposed to go a year or two and just never made it out, and which was a bummer.
Well, and you guys live way out in BFE, and to try to get all the way out here to where my boat is,
right? It
was going to take them like 2 hours sitting in traffic with the kids and everything. It just was never going to work out. But so a little bit more about me. I do it for the love of the people, try to get out as much as I can, and hearing everybody, go Blazers, just it's exciting for me, I guess.
That's awesome. What other questions that I have listed here for you? Oh, well, we sort of already talked about it, but I wrote why are your trade offers so much worse than everyone else?
It's on the notes. It's
Yeah,
there.
it's on the notes, so I had to ask
Okay.
him.
On, you never know what somebody's willing to accept,
I
right?
like it. Yeah.
You just don't. I mean, look at some of the trades that Aaron pulls off. Like he
I
gets
know.
such amazing players and he gives up literally nothing. Literally nothing. So like I love the fact that I am criticized by him specifically when I've seen his trade offers. How in the fuck am I the one being called out on this? Yours are so much worse.
Wait, pause. What do we got here? Whoa, there's a flying balloon.
What was
What are
it?
you doing?
Hey kiddo.
What do we?
Subscribe, and since
Skylar, get in the camera view.
my dad probably doesn't have enough money, if we get 100 and a million subscribers to buy a lot of cookies, you can have a mini one.
Oh, was that Cookie Crisp? I think this is some Cookie Crisp.
Looks
All right.
delicious.
Nice, thanks. Good job, baby.
Good job, Skylar.
All right. So since my son promised everybody cookies, I guess this is how we're gonna make it happen. Okay, sorry, what were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about trade offers. My trade offers are fantastic. It's so funny because like one of the reasons I wanted to do this series is to get people to like know each other a little bit and feel more comfortable sending trade offers and whatnot. Because I obviously know everybody in the league because I've had to help people sign up and whatnot. I'll get messages like, is so and so kidding with this trade offer? And I don't like necessarily get they don't show me what the offer is, but I'm like, hey, we all value players differently. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
100%. And it's true. It is very true. Like I'll send an offer that I think is in favor of me for sure. You don't have to accept it. Counter offer it. If you want my player, counter me. And that's a lot of times what I'll do. I'll be like, hey, here's a starting point. And people just like reject it. I'm like, don't reject it. It's a starting point.
I will
counter offer.
Yes, that's what that button's for.
Although, you know what? I would much rather have them just reject it instead of just leaving it there for months on end.
Oh God.
Like that bothers me more than anything.
My biggest I will generally counter it as long as the offer you sent me is somewhat close.
Right.
Or it's something that manager needs, obviously.
Right. And a lot of times there will be a lot of discussion back and forth, like in the things. And I think it was last year I pulled off like a 3 or 4 team deal.
Yeah.
And that was all based off of conversations with each one of those managers that I had, going into detail about what they were looking for, what they wanted, going back and forth. And then I tried to pull off the mega deal this last one. It was so close. Everybody was on board except for that motherfucker right there. And I still ended up getting that tight end that I was looking for, you son of a b.
Yeah. I remember it was so funny because I think last year you pulled off a 3-way trade and this year you tried for 4 and nope, I don't want that one. The amount of time
I didn't even care. Like I literally was like, okay, well that guy wanted this, so let's see how we do this, and this guy. And here's what sucked is I was on my iPad trying to do it, and my iPad app just kept dying. So I literally had to put in that damn trade 12 different times before it finally was able to get through, and just to be rejected.
Denied.
I rejected it pretty quickly. I kind of felt bad, but I was like, I can't set up I'm not going to spend the time to come up with a counter. So
yeah, it was a lot of fun for me to put together, honestly. Like they're complicated, but not that, they're not bad. And it's kind of fun to sit there and tinker and find and have conversations with guys. Like I don't know how many of these guys I've just had random conversations with, email, texting back and forth, and
by the way, Josh Smith, right? He's an operator at Dino too. He joined the league this year.
Oh, is he Smith?
Well, there's
garbage house. Garbage.
yeah, hot garbage. He
Hot
changed his
garbage.
name.
There you go.
hot garbage. Okay, yeah. I
Well,
believe I do know him.
It's confusing because there's a Jason Smith and a Josh Smith.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Jason Smith has the name Jay Smitty. So it's like, well, that doesn't tell me which one
Doesn't
it is.
help.
Yeah. There are a few guys that I'm glad are gone because they did nothing in this league, and it looks like we have more people who are excited about the league.
That's the goal.
And that's really fun.
Yep.
That makes it more exciting and more like makes me want to like be more interactive in it. And
That's the goal.
deal, maybe talk some shit with more people, especially Drew now. Oh man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shit.
There's no feelings in this league, okay?
No,
like if you
no,
get your
no,
feelings
no.
hurt, like we should find somebody else. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we've gotten rid of those people.
You need to
Yeah.
get some thicker skin.
I definitely
I have to ask my question that I've been asking.
You've got 215. Go for it.
Yeah.
Everybody else. Do you have like now that we've been here for a few years, you've been since day one. Is besides this guy over here, Aaron, he's on this side for you? do you have somebody that you look forward to beating, that playing against, like a rival that you are like, well, when I play that person, like that game, like I'll lose every other game of the season, but I want to win that one?
Honestly, it is just Aaron. Anytime I go in, but there's 3 leagues that I'm in with him, right? So it's every time I face him, I face him 3 times, at least 3 times, if not 6 times a year in all fantasy. So it's always going against him. But Roth is also in there. Roth, I love beating Roth because he likes to talk a lot of shit and he never backs it up. I'm sorry, Roth, but it's true. You're in here long enough.
Sorry.
You suck. You're terrible at this game.
Oh, this must have been a great moment when he got to hand you the trophy.
Hey, it was. He dropped it on my front porch, rang the doorbell, and ran away.
We need to start videoing the drop off or the sending off of the receiving. Like it needs to be. Put that in the notes for next year.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
All right, boys.
Looks like we got less than 1 minute. So hey, this was so much more fun than I thought it was going to be. You guys,
so much fun.
I would look forward to doing another one of these with you guys.
Hey, anytime you want to be a guest,
laugh during this whole thing, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we keep doing it, even with nobody watching.
It's just I might watch a couple more now.
All right, boys. Cheers. We'll do it again. Thanks, Eric. Later.
See ya.